you guys see me? Oh, good. I got hands. Yay. Can you hear me okay? Okay, cool. And you guys can use the chat feature. If you have any questions, I'll be constantly like looking at it.
How do we see them?
Oh my gosh. I can't tell. You guys, are you guys seeing my face or are you seeing, you're seeing me, right? Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Should we leave and come back?
It's exhausting already. All right. We're going to give a few more. Awesome. Thank you. We're going to give a few. Yeah, that's a good idea, Shannon. I should, yeah. You guys are going to be better at this than I am. I don't know why they asked me to do it. I'm the oldest person that works at spa, I feel like. The technology doesn't flow right here. Hi. So go ahead and make sure your videos are off and your mics are muted. It will just be easier for everyone. We can hold as many people, more people that way. And then if you have questions, you'll use the chat feature and I'll, be checking in every few minutes to see as things are coming up. If something goes wrong and you need to unmute to let me know, right? Go ahead. We are recording this session so we can post it on YouTube later on. So again, that's another reason to make sure your camera's off, okay? How's everybody doing? Hanging in there? Okay, good. Hi, Cecilia. Hi, Sophia. I know it's boring, huh? I've been working out a lot to assuage my boredom, but then I'm also sitting a lot, so it's not really balancing out. I know. I miss seeing you guys too. Hi, Kayla. Yeah, it was super boring. Travis, I'm not sure if everybody agrees that video games are not boring, but that's certainly what my boys spend a lot of time doing. I miss you, Kayla. This is no substitute for being together for sure. But my house is clean. My house is very clean. My dogs are happy. And let's see what else. I don't know. I'm eating all the sugar. Today's the end of that, though. No more sugar because it's not helping. Yeah, you just got to do it. Your cat wants you to leave? That's funny. I know. I saw something on Facebook and it was like the cats are like, why are you still here? I need my alone time. Whereas the dogs are on us 24/7. Although my dog is getting tired of me dragging her out for walks all the time. She's like, no more walks. I'm over it. That's funny. Sophie. Oh, it's bad when the dog's tired of you. Oh, that's funny. Lots of bike riding. Yeah, us too. Owen got a new bike. And so, hi, Carrie. What about 8th grade ceremony? We will probably have to do something alternative, but we are still kind of waiting to hear what the guidelines are. If there's a way to do either, smaller groups or a way to, if they're opening up some gathering restrictions, then we will probably do something. But if we hear that they're not going to be, hi Dana, if we hear that we're not going to be opening anything up for like a long time, then we'll have to do something virtual. But we're still deciding. All right, guys. Let's see. We have 44 people on. Oh, hi, Jaden. High school students, make sure you are in Wismore's Hangout. This is for middle school. Thank you, Ms. Mustafa. Yes. All right. So we are going to do a middle school kind of presentation One of the real differences is that we have made some adjustments for our middle school kids to make sure that you guys are focusing on just what you need and not feeling overwhelmed or stressed. So we're going to see how that goes. Obviously, this whole process is stressful and overwhelming for all of us. But we've done a lot of work to try to limit the amount of stuff you guys need to do and just really focusing on what is super important. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the slideshow with you, and I'm going to start by presenting my screen. Whoops. It's like I've never done this before. Go to the bottom. There we go. Present. All right. Whoops. All right, just a reminder, make sure your screens are off. And I'm going to go ahead and present my PowerPoint. So hopefully you are looking at the slide that says middle school virtual learning orientation. If you're not seeing it, if somebody could unmute and let me know. If I hear silence, then I'll assume we're golden. Cool. So welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Miss Montgomery. I teach 6th grade history, 8th grade history, 8th, 9th, health and wellness. And I've been at Contra Costa School of Performing Arts for 4 years. This year by far has been the weirdest, but I love working with our kids and I miss them a lot. We're going to go through the bell schedule, the Google Classroom, the Google Calendar, Summit, how Spotlight will work, emails, and then a brief overview of the family handbook. This is being recorded and it will be posted later. And you also have the link to this slideshow. So if I go through something too quickly or you want to revisit something, you can. So this is our bell schedule, when and where students can attend virtual classes. So for middle school, students will be expected to attend their English, math, and arts courses Monday through Thursday via Google Hangouts. Science, history, and PE will be offered as an optional enrichment class on Friday. A virtual bell schedule has been created to ensure students can attend each of their classes on a weekly basis. So this is one of the decisions that we made together to pull back on, what's not critical. And as a history teacher and a PE teacher, I definitely feel passionate about my subjects, but I also realize a lot of the skills that we do are covered in English. So it seemed like the right thing to do for students' mental health and parents' mental health, because I have a 9th grader and a 10-year-old, a 5th grader, so I know how it goes. All right, so we're going to look a little bit at the Google Classroom, what it is and how to use it. So this is a great tool that we've been using for arts classes and PE classes over the course of the school year, but now all the classes are there. So Google Classroom is where students can see daily and weekly announcements from the teacher. Weekly assignments will be posted on Mondays by 8 a.m. And there will be video resources such as the recording of class lectures or PDFs of reading, videos, different things like that kids can access. All students should have received invitations from their teachers weeks ago to join a class. If you didn't receive an invitation for a specific class, please email your teacher and let them know. Students, you have to remember to click accept down here, otherwise you're not in the classroom. And parents and guardians, teachers can invite you to join once your student has accepted the invitation. And then as a parent, you can receive automatic daily or weekly summaries. I get these for Wyatt, who's in 9th grade, and they're helpful, and it just keeps me in the loop, which is nice. Okay, so this is the stream. This is kind of the screen that you'll see when you first log on, and everything is posted there. Like everything that has been posted lines up on your stream. Over here, you can see if there's any upcoming work that's due. You can see class comments, unless you're in my health and wellness class, in which I muted you guys. You know why. This is classwork, where you can go to see assignments, resources, and grades. Oop, I went too fast. Sorry about that. So this is what you see right away. And then people is where you see who's joined the classroom. So this is kind of where we can manage who's in and who's not. Okay, so once you're in the classwork tab, here are the topics. If you're in my if you're in my PE class, I'm not gonna have topics, it's just workouts, right? But here, this is Miss Kuvatakis's class, and you can see that she's got these broken down point of view, structures in nonfiction, research and citing, and then she's got her assignments here. When you click the classwork tab, you will see all the assignments and the due dates. And then you can view your work. So resources that the teacher has prepared. And if you want more information, you can click on view assignment. So teachers will be posting information about assignments on the Google Classroom, but require students to submit assignments on Summit for grading. Assignments may be submitted in the form of checkpoints or projects. Of course, this is for your academic classes. So this would be English, this would be math, this would not be arts, and this would not be PE, which you're not doing anyway in middle school. So it's running the same way that it did before, which is where your work will be submitted on the PLP for your academic classes and on the classroom for your arts classes. I'm gonna go ahead and pause here. I'm gonna pop out and I'm gonna look at some of your comments and see how we're doing. See if you guys have a million questions for me. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Okay. Okay, good. Oh, I see Ms. Mustafa is doing an awesome job answering all your questions. Are there any questions that haven't been answered? If you want to go ahead and type it in right now and I can take a look. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and jump back into the PowerPoint. Okay, can you show parents how to access again? Okay, Danny, what's your question about the codes? Yeah, we're gonna get into the bell schedule. Yeah, we're gonna come up into the bell schedule in just a few minutes. And there is a certain time, but also if a student cannot for whatever reason. Okay. Okay, all right. Then the actual classes will be recorded. And yeah, Krista, if I get to the end and we're still unsure how to join, I will go through that again. Okay, thanks, Salam. Okay. No, classes will be 50 minutes. We'll go over that. Yeah, Robert, that's why I don't know about sending them to YouTube, but we're recording the classes for the students and then they'll be on the classroom. So that's where students will be able to access them. So for example, if I were to do a lecture about something super fascinating and the student was unable to attend for whatever reason, they would just go on and be able to watch it later. They won't be able to ask live questions, but they can see, they can hear the conversation that the questions other students have asked, and they can watch it and they could email me questions later. Yes, Travis, they're going to be video calls. Thank you, Victor. I appreciate your thoughts. I definitely understand that. Thank you for sharing. All right, we're going to jump back into the, who should we talk to about the codes? Okay. Okay, thank you. Oh, thanks, Ryan. I was just thinking about you earlier. Okay, I'm going to jump back onto the PowerPoint and we're going to keep going and then we'll circle back. And thank you, Salam, for answering all the questions. You're doing awesome. I really appreciate it. There's no way I could keep up. Okay, so I'm going to go down, present. All right. So, I think we covered this already. This is, okay. So viewing assignments. To complete an assignment, click the resource on your right-hand side under your work. And when you're done, click turn it in. Use the add or create feature if you need to attach something. So for example, if you had to add a slideshow that you did, or you had to add a document that you did and you wanted to turn it in here, you would just add it there. If you're not sure what to do or how to get started, you can send your teacher a question or a comment using the private comments feature. You can choose to opt out of email notifications. And so if you do a question, I'm going to show you how to opt out later, because I know sometimes we're overwhelmed with the amount of emails we get from the classroom. I am for sure. So if you choose to opt out of those email notifications, you have to make sure you're revisiting to see if you got an answer or feedback. If you haven't been using this, it's my recommendation to just continue with email to your teacher, but with your Google, your CoCoSpa account. But you can also use this; it's helpful as well. Okay, so we're going to talk about using Google Calendar, and it's a really good way to stay organized. Excuse me. To help students stay organized, teachers will be sending out invitations to classes and office hours. We encourage students to accept the invitation even if you don't think you can make the session, because it will plop it on your calendar. And if you have a change in plans or all of a sudden you can make it, then you can, you know where it is and it's right on your calendar. You don't have to search through your email and try to find it. And it just kind of puts it on there, and it will also send you a little reminder. I got a 10-minute notification before our conversation today. And so that was helpful, that I'm on my computer and I get that little notification. When students open the calendar invite, they will see a link to join the class, as well as a phone number that you can call in if you're not able to join via your Chromebook. So hopefully you've gotten all your tech stuff sorted out. If not, please let us know and we will get it sorted out. But if you, let's say, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a scenario, but maybe you're just not at your computer or you can't get on that day, you can join by a phone and at least be able to listen in, which is helpful. So you can, there are some benefits to using Google Calendar. You can quickly find links to join your classes. You get reminders, as I mentioned before, and it keeps everything organized. Okay. What about the PLP? I briefly mentioned it. So Google Classroom will have your daily and weekly announcements from your teacher. You want to consider that like your communication platform. We won't be sending out, I know you've been getting a lot of emails, so you won't get an email from me telling you what's due that week. In addition to the Google Classroom, it will just be on the Google Classroom. Weekly assignments, including checkpoints and projects. These things will be posted on Monday mornings. And then your resources that you need to do those projects and those checkpoints, and links to recorded class lectures and readings. It's also a site for students to communicate with one another via the comments feature. So I guess I'll have to turn it back on for my health and wellness kids, huh? Dang it. For Summit, the checkpoints and projects will still be on there for turning in your assignments. You're still going to work on your focus areas, and you're still going to use Summit to check your grades. Students need to check the Google Classroom on a daily basis for information about assignments, including which ones need to be completed via Summit. Okay, so what's going on with Power Focus Areas? All Power Focus Areas originally scheduled for after spring break have been moved to the additionals. Power Focus Areas that were due prior to spring break are still required and are due by the end of the school year. Additional focus areas are optional. Students can take them to help boost their grades. So if you're going for an A in your class, you want to do your additionals. If you're very satisfied with your B or your C, and you want to focus on other things, you may. All right. So go ahead and take a look when you get a chance at your Summit, at your line, and look at what is overdue will be red. Everything else will be moved down to additional Power Focus Areas. Checkpoints and projects. What assignments or projects on the PLP should students be working on? For middle school only, this is where you middle schoolers are getting kind of a break, I think, and it's good. You need it. It's worth it. English and math teachers are going to continue to post new assignments and new projects. You have to have those core English and math skills for your next year of school, okay? We don't want to leave you behind with that. We want to continue your learning and continue building your skills for next year so you don't struggle as much at the beginning of the year. All assignments and activities will be viewable on both the Google Classroom and the PLP. Science and history teachers will wrap up their projects that students have been working on prior to school closure, but we will not assign you new work. Instead, science, history, and PE will provide optional weekly enrichment for activities for students on the classroom only. Okay, I'm gonna pop out and see how we're doing here. Hi guys, I'm gonna just take a look at the comments real quick and see where we're going. Yeah, it will start this week. Starts on Wednesday. Hi Jaden, doesn't matter who requests, you request your focus area, right? But who approves it should be your spotlight teacher, but you can also reach out to your content matter teacher. To Rachel's question, I believe you can join the calls on an iPad. Is the calendar? Oh, no problem. Yeah, the calendar is available in your Google Suite. So if you're on your email, there's a little grid on the top right-hand side. And then once you hover over that, you should see some menu options and you will see the calendar there. It can be any focus area, yes. Oh, okay, Samuel, I see your question about the video lecture on YouTube. It was blocked. We will work with Tyler to make sure that links are unblocked. If something falls through the cracks, can I still expect an email? That's a good question. I will go ahead and ask my administration about that question and like, when should you expect contact from administration regarding progress and that kind of stuff? That's a really good question. Let me write that down real quick. We are still unsure about the nature of summer school as well, so I think those two things connect. So I will put that up to someone who's in a higher pay grade than I am. Yeah. I didn't say no, Jaden. I said we don't know. Don't get too excited. Yeah, to Ms. Mustafa's point, right? We are going to have mentors that are going to be additionals that are going to be working with students who are behind, but we're going to be connecting. Sorry, Jaden, you're making me laugh. We're going to be connecting, having new caseloads. So one of the things that the history and PE and science teachers are going to be doing is pulling new babies onto our mentor list and connecting with you more frequently to make sure you're like getting on top of your work. But ultimately, it is your responsibility to get your work done. Okay, thanks, Amel. You better come back because I'm gonna miss you. Okay, I'm moving on back to our presentation before I get sucked into talking to you guys, which is much more fun than going through this presentation, I think. Thanks, Amel, I appreciate it. Hi, Kayla, I didn't know you were there. Ah, what did I do? I have to click this, good Lord. Okay, so yes, here we go. So no new history work, no new science work, no new. So let's talk a little bit about grades. You already know this, parents, this might be a bit of a reminder, but kids, you guys should know this like the back of your hand. So to help students and families keep track of progress, Teachers will continue using green, yellow, and red to indicate students' progress on assignments. So if you get a green, that whatever you've turned in met the standard. If you get a yellow, it can mean two things. The work was below standard, but you do not need to resubmit. If you're doing writing, like my kids have an essay due today, ha ha ha. And if they did any writing, I usually give a yellow because there's something that needs to be improved or fixed. Doesn't necessarily mean they're below the standard, but it means like, hey, there's a comment that I really need you to see. There's feedback in here. And then if you get a red, it's incomplete, it's missing, or it's just plain wrong. You must resubmit or complete red checkpoints or red projects, but you do not need to resubmit or yellow or green. What about the arts? Okay, so I think somebody had this question earlier. In addition to English and math, students will be expected to actively participate in their arts coursework. While arts classes are not on the PLP, have never been on the PLP, students can access all the instructional content from their teachers on Google Classroom. Spotlight. I can't wait to see all my Spotlight kids on Wednesday. I've been missing you. Okay, so sorry for the singing. With all the new changes, it's understandable that y'all feel overwhelmed. We get it. We do too. We're all in this together, just trying to figure out every day what's the next step. Spotlight teachers will host daily Google Hangout sessions from 9 to 9:50 every day, Monday through Friday. This will help students navigate Google Classrooms and the PLP, create plans to stay on track with catch up with overdue work and focus areas. So class time, your Spotlight time before, this is a time for you to connect with your Spotlight teacher and say, what do I need to do today? Or I've emailed this teacher 3 times, but I haven't heard back. Can you help me? And, you know, stay on top of things and help you prioritize as well. Should you be working on an overdue power focus area? Should you be working on a project? Should you be working on current work? Like, what's going on? Yes, that's it. Emails. All right, what to do if students are feeling overwhelmed by email notifications, or if your parent is feeling overwhelmed, as I was last week or the week before. So if you are getting too many emails, because the way this works is like every time Ms. Cuvie posts something, every time Ms. Portillo posts something, even I believe if someone makes a comment, you can get an email, and that's just like overwhelming and really hard to kind of process through all that stuff. So if you want to turn it off, or if a parent wants to turn it off, you're going to click this icon at the top next to Google Classroom. Scroll all the way to the bottom and click on, oh, I just covered it up. Good job, Montgomery. Click on the settings icon. See it down there? I'm not going to dare hover over it again. Okay, and decide which notifications you want to mute. Gray buttons indicate that the notifications have been muted. So you can see like comments on your posts, comments that mention you, private comments on your work. You probably want to keep that one on. Email notifications you can turn off. Work and other posts from teachers you should stay on. Returned work should probably stay on. Invitations to join class as a student. So for those students who are like, I never got an invitation, maybe check in your settings and make sure this isn't muted. Due date reminders for your work. So you can kind of go through here and see what it is you think is going to be most helpful for you and what's going to be overwhelming. Caution. If you decide to mute all email notifications, then you won't receive any reminders, which means you need to check each Google Classroom page on a daily basis for updates. So it's a lot of checking, but once you get a system going and you are checking in with your Spotlight teacher, you guys are going to be fine. I know you will. You'll do it. You'll do it well. Okay, frequently asked questions that we think might be helpful. All right, is attendance required? How do I or my child check in? Although we are not able to take formal attendance, we are expecting all students to attend online classes at the scheduled time. Teachers will be sending out Google Calendar invites to help students keep track of their new school schedule. Teachers will be able to see who is participating in the Google Hangouts and who is submitting assignments. Parents, in addition, I went on to the calendar, to the school schedule for Wyatt, And I made him a daily calendar, wrote everything out for him, old school on, on a piece of paper. And I just like slapped it above his computer in his room above his desk. So, and he's in 9th grade. But I still think it's helpful to know, like, where should I be when? How can I know if my student is really attending classes and keeping up with their schoolwork? Oh, kids, you're gonna love this. Apps have been released for all parents, so they can now monitor their students' activity via GoGuardian, and these can be purchased via Apple and the Google App Store. So GoGuardian allows you to actually see what your student is on when they're on their computer, so you can see that they're where they're supposed to be, and you can also like limit different sites and stuff. It's pretty cool if you like that kind of spying on your kid type of thing. What if I get sick during virtual learning? Will I fall further behind? Just like school, parents or students should contact teachers if they get sick to let them know they will be missing for a few days. Students, ask for a work completion plan when you get better. You will not fall further behind. All of the class sessions and assignments will be posted on the Google Classroom pages for you to access when you feel better. So it's just a really good practice. Well, I've had a few really lovely phone calls with parents over the last few weeks where we kind of vented and problem solved and brainstormed what we could do to alleviate some of these stressors. So please just communicate with us. Let us know how we can help. What's this? Oh, who should I check in with if I need additional support? So start with your teachers, especially your spotlight teacher or your new mentor. Students, if you're struggling emotionally, you're feeling overwhelmed, please contact Ms. Ramos, Ms. Mustafa, or Ms. P. They are here to support you. You can go to the student services page for contact information and quick links to a ton of really good resources. Oh, technology. Okay, so if you have your phone handy, I might take a picture of this. Our tech director, Tyler, has a new number that is operational during business hours. And it's 925-235-1418, or you can email him at helpdesk@CoCoSpa.org. And he will help troubleshoot your equipment and internet issues. So to the student who asked earlier, like, I couldn't access this lecture, you can always send him that link and ask him to unblock it. And it's easier if the teachers do it, but if it's coming up that there's something you need that's blocked, you can ask him to unblock it. Students who have broken Chromebook screens or keyboards can set up an appointment and drop off their Chromebook with Melissa free of charge, and they'll go ahead and take care of it. Happened to my computer. She was amazing. So was Tyler. How can I stay up to date with all the new changes? So we're working really hard to keep you guys up to date, but also not overwhelmed, and it's a very delicate balance. To see the COVID-19 resources, click the banner at the top of the CoCoSpa homepage. Oh my Lord. How can I, same title. So all the different, there's a bunch of different links, how courses will operate during spring break, or after spring break, my apologies. Virtual learning, family orientation sessions. So that's what we're doing here. Technology services, internet monitoring advice, academic support options, special education, mental health resources, school meal services, the high school schedule, the middle school schedule, and then a bunch of web resources for families and for curriculum. So lots and lots of good stuff there. Let's go ahead and go here, see if it works. It worked. Okay, so I'm gonna scroll down to the schedule. Taking its sweet time here. Come on, come on, come on. Today, oh, nope. All right, these are all the different resources that you guys can see in, oh, did I miss it? Is that high school? That's high school, okay. So here, hopefully you can see this. If not, if something's going on, please unmute and yell at me. No unmuting means, no yelling at me means everything's okay. You can see the schedule. So, Spotlight every day. Then right at 10 o'clock, so classes are 50 minutes and you get 10 minutes to go, refill the snacks or use the restroom or whatever you need, stretch. And then you've got your arts classes here, dance, concert choir, intro to illustration, jazz band, intro to theater. And that's kind of every day, Monday through Thursday, you've got arts right away. And then at 11 to 11:50, you have some more arts here. And then you can see they're also offering middle school arts appointments. On Tuesday, middle school arts appointments. Thursday, middle school arts appointments. Then we'd like you to go and talk to those people you live with and maybe have lunch or do some exercise or whatever. Get away from your computer. 1 o'clock to 1:50, you have middle school math, 6th and 8th grade. All right. And then you have English on Tuesday. You have math on Wednesday, English on Thursday. And then at 2 o'clock, 7th grade math. And then we have individual math small group or individual math appointments for those who need a little bit extra support. All right. And then you see here on Tuesday, you have middle school English, science, history, small groups, and individual appointments. So you would make those with your teachers. Math 7th grade here, and then some more individual appointments, and then more individual appointments here. And going all the way down here from 3 to 3:50. So, and then on your Fridays, you have your enrichment. All right. So it's optional. Like here is going to be where Miss M is doing her lecture for 8th grade and 9th grade about human trafficking, or we're going to talk about the choice board. And if you are interested in connecting with us, if you're interested in learning a little bit more, your teachers certainly think they will be fun and exciting and engaging, but these are optional for middle school students. So you can certainly join Spotlight and use this day to get caught up in extra work, or you can use this day to check in with us, or you can use this day to, I don't know, go for a bike ride. All right, guys, I'm gonna pop out of this and come back to you and see what is going on. No, your arts is not enrichment. Your arts is required. What am I doing? Am I back on? Yes, there I am. All right, let me look at all these questions. Yes, I think you can access it via the handbook. It was also in the, oh my Lord, newsletter that came out on Sunday. Yeah. Ryan, do you mean like what level of your vocal class? Which option is the one you should be working on? Ryan, that sounds like a good question for your Spotlight teacher. I'd have to be looking at your specific schedule because not every, as you know, right, not every student is in the same arts. Not every, sorry. Oh, Victor. Not every student is in the same arts. So yes, so Hannah, sometimes you won't have something scheduled for you. Okay? And that's okay. So it just depends on your different schedule and what arts you're in and what's going on. Oh. Like you're saying, it's day to day for all of us, which is why receiving a direct email if students failing would be nice. Yeah, I know. Okay. I know. Yeah, Danny, possibly you could set up a call with the IT guy. It's definitely like we hear you, and yeah. So possibly talking to Tyler and asking about like what is like the one place that you should be most focused on, and it probably would depend. I know. I know. I feel the same way. I'm like, what? So maybe the phone call would be better to schedule a phone call because you have more questions. Oh, thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Ryan. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me stick with Danny and I'll come back down to you, Ruby. So it might depend on your particular child's situation too. So for example, if your child's particularly falling behind on PLP work, then I might make sure I am super on top of getting those text messages, which I get for my kids that let me know that a project's upcoming or how many power focus areas were completed that week. If it's a kid who's maybe enrolled in PD and has a lot of those assignments that are behind, I would make sure like I'm connected on the classroom. So those, might be specific to your kiddo and like what your concerns are. I would suggest, being that kind of we feel the same way, doing a phone call with Tyler, possibly doing a phone call with Tyler and maybe reaching out to your kiddo's spotlight teacher or their mentor and doing a phone call with them. And that might be your contact person. I found it a lot more helpful to talk to my spotlight kids' parents, right? Just to kind of clear up some things and help them figure out where the focus should be. I hope that helps. None of the class codes work for you. Ruby, let me take a look after we hang up and then I'll call you if I need to and we can kind of troubleshoot that. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, and I can also just add you and see if that what's going on there. Codes are working. Yeah, so I see the Chromebook fee for replacing cracked screens. I don't know it. Travis answered $75. I don't know it. You can email him. Working. Oh, okay. Thank you. Ms. Mustafa just told you can exchange your Chromebooks for no cost or use a personal computer and contact Melissa if you need to do that. For Spotlight, do you need to stay the whole time, Kayla? No, you do not need to stay the whole time. It's totally up to you. It might be great just to come on and we talk about schedule. We can mute, everybody else, and I can come on, talk to you, and then you can go when you're ready, and we start Wednesday. Hannah, let's talk separately. You say 11 to 11:50, you don't have anything. That might be true. You can work on assignments that were just given to you. You can work on things that are overdue. I know, I don't think you have anything overdue, but you might. Is there anything I'm missing? So tomorrow's just another day to like get your bearings, right? So what Wyatt specifically is that he needed to do 2 to 3 hours of overdue work, right? Stuff that he's already been assigned. He needed to make sure he had a schedule and he's ready to go for tomorrow. So that's what you're going to do tomorrow as well, if that makes sense. So tomorrow's another catch-up day, and it's also a day we're doing these orientations a bunch of times today and a bunch of times tomorrow. So it's a chance for us all to like get our bearings and not just jump from like Easter to like, oh my God, I'm already behind. Thanks, Miss M, thanks, Spa. So we're easing in, and as a parent, I'm really, 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 really happy about that. So yeah, there are holes in the schedule, times when there are no classes for sure. You might have a super light day and you might have a heavier day. Can't log on live for the classrooms. Okay, so Samuel, the live classes are going to be recorded. So if you cannot log on for whatever reason, and then like your parents come home and then you can log on, you can just go onto the classroom and everything will have been recorded for you. The downside of that is you can't ask live questions, but you can still see what other questions students have asked. And if questions come up for you while you're watching, you can pause it and email your teacher or email a classmate and ask them, to help you understand it. The other good thing about a live lecture is that you can actually pause it and take really good notes, which, if you've ever been in Miss M's class, you cannot shut me up mid-sentence. You can't stop me. So it's kind of nice to be able to pause the recorded class and then come back. Hannah, I don't know what that means. When does... No, Samuel, it will not affect your grades, babe. You're just going to be graded on what you're turned in, what you have turned in, not being there. You're going to need the lectures to make sure you're doing the work correctly, but your grade will not be affected, okay? How long are the sessions going to be? Classes are 50 minutes. Joseph, the schedule is located in the handbook, in this PowerPoint, and in the family newsletter that was emailed out yesterday. Oh my gosh. Joaquin, I feel like I missed a question from you. Did I? I don't know. Maybe. You guys are coming at me. Anything else that I can answer? You got me for 20 minutes. Oh, thank you, Hannah. Virtual. Okay, got you. Wednesday with Spotlight. So just like at school, right? Nice soft start, 9 a.m. You log on with your Spotlight teacher, and then that's where you'll start every day. Yeah, you could. Oh yeah, Remy. What to do during free periods? Yeah, I would work on whatever you were just given, right? So like a class is going to be similar to how we would run a class at school, right? Like you are going to be given some information, you're going to be given some directions, and then you're going to need to complete the assignment. So if it were me, as soon as the class was over, I would like spend 30 minutes or so to like do the thing and get it off my plate. Or, you know, not, I don't know. That's okay. Yeah, music teachers, all your arts teachers have Google Classrooms. You're welcome. Are you allowed to do, oh, I already answered that. Yeah, if you want to do other things while you're listening, you can. But it kind of just depends. If it were math, no, I wouldn't do something else while I was listening. But if it was Miss M's fantastic PE lecture, then maybe. Okay, so Ms. Mustafa would like to draw your attention to, even in classrooms, if you are inappropriate in the chat space, you will be removed and no longer have access to it. That's exactly what happened with my health and wellness class. They were all thinking they were super funny and they were not funny. Oh, Ms. Mustafa also added parents will get screenshots. Retro. Come on, guys, get it together. My classroom view looks way different. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say that's interesting because I only know from my teacher view. So Ruby, were you able to get on? You're welcome, Miss Yumieko. Thinking about you earlier. Started dreaming about you because it's rough. I'm like, my kids. Oh, okay, so that makes sense. Yeah, of course, ML. Oh, thanks, Miyako. I hope it's helpful. I know it's a lot of information, like overwhelming. But Ruby, do you think you're set, or do you still want me to see what I can do? Yeah, no worries. Thank you. How do we access this PowerPoint? It should be in your email. Email that when we sent you for the orientation, everything should be linked in here. Okay, Cecilia, I emailed to our class. I don't have any more. Oh, okay. Let me look into that, Cecilia. Tell me what the class is. What class it is. Yes, Hannah, you can go. Thank you, Hannah. All right, bye, Kayla. Okay, so Cecilia, I can just drop you off that. That's what I was thinking it was. As long as you're in class 3. Okay, I will double check. Ms. Mustafa, can you make sure that this is getting emailed out to everybody so they can access this PowerPoint? I think it is, but just in case. Oh, okay. But if he wants to like actually go into the PowerPoint and look through it, can he do that on his own? Oh, okay, perfect. Okay. All right, cool. Okay. I'm just gonna go back up here. Oh, thanks, Melissa. I'm glad. You should come back at night. I'll be much better. The classroom link for parents. How to find the classroom link? So, okay. Thanks, Remy. Well, Melissa is in your email. So if you just type in Melissa, parents do not get them. Yeah, so that there's so many questions coming in. Bye, Cecilia. So there is a place for the parent codes. No, parents don't. Hi, Hannah. Miss you too. Bye. So there are no codes for parents, right? Ms. Mustafa, can you confirm that? Does the student need to add the parent or does the teacher need to add the parent? Okay, so from what I understand, who will each get summaries? Parents will each get summaries. Students have a code to access. Parents can review classwork that way. Through their kids. Oh, I have to scroll down. Okay. Yeah, I think that actually makes sense. We would like parents to make sure. Yeah. I think that's what you should do. And if Ruby, if you add the code from the kid, then you'll be able to see everything whether you want to or not. I mean, it might be overwhelming. Danny, I'm not sure when you start getting them. I get it like once a week. I think I get it on Friday. What happens if a student can't go on Google Classroom or the PLP for a few days and are very far behind? So if both things are happening, right? One, Isabella, you need to have a plan with your Spotlight teacher for the overdue stuff, right? And then as if you get sick or you just can't go on for whatever reason, that's another thing you need to communicate to your teachers and just let them know. Do you need to have two plans working? One for overdue stuff and one for what you're missing. But your first line of defense is to go to your Spotlight teacher and ask for some help. Or email Miss M. Thanks, Jessica. So parents' main place is Summit Learning. Yeah, I think that is absolutely right. You want to be going to Summit to be looking at the grades and making sure things are being turned in, except for arts. It is just a different platform. We got to be on the Google Classroom. Maybe we should have a spotlight for, yes, thank you, Jessica. Yeah, Power School for arts grades, absolutely, thank you. Maybe we should have a spotlight for parents. That might not be the worst idea, right? Okay, I'll put it out there. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have one of the spotlight days would just be parents and they can jump in and say, what should my kid be working on this week? I know we want them to do it all, but, you know, pipe dreams, right? Once a week. All right. Oh, thanks, Salam. Awesome. Okay, cool. Thanks, Danny. No kids are invited. No kids are invited to our spotlight. I love it. We'll make it happen. Oh, guys, you guys are funny. No. No, they're not. I was just going to say, I can't vent about the kids. I love them too much. I'll vent about my kid, but not yours. Yours are perfect, sweet baby angels. All right. Danny, that's funny. Yeah, get the IT guy on there. And don't be too hard on yourself. Yes, Kayla, you are. Absolutely. There are only so many people in the world I would go through all of this for, because this is not my jam, and it's you guys. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Bye, Miss Mustafa. I'll be on in just a minute. Yeah, Jessica, I know. I totally get it. And, you know, it's such a balance, right? Because on one hand, we really want our kids to stay in a groove, to have a schedule, to like be shoring up skills so that they're not completely overwhelmed. Hi, Carolyn. But on the other hand, like we have to keep it in perspective, and we don't want them to be superly overstressed or panicking or just feeling like they're terrible at this. You know, like Danny's thing that he said really hit me, because it's like we're all judging ourselves and putting ourselves down right now for not being really good at this, but we have to keep our expectations you know, at a level that contains some perspective and isn't bashing ourselves and isn't bashing them. So whatever, if you have any ideas of how we can do that, and I think the spotlight would be really helpful. My phone is blowing up for some reason. Then like I'd love to hear them. I think the spotlight's a great one. Yeah, I think that is, as a spotlight teacher, I have found my phone calls with parents to be so helpful, because it better helps me when I'm like talking to the kiddo about what they're going to do that week to understand what's going on at home, right? When we're in the classroom, we know that everybody has a different home situation, but the classroom in some ways, not in all ways, and certainly not perfectly, but in some ways it creates like an even playing field, right? Like I know that you're there. I know if you have friend drama, I know it because I'm seeing it, or like I just know what's going on in that space. But when I don't know what's going on at home, it's really hard for me to understand like how to help your kid prioritize, or what are some of the conflicts that are going on, or whatever. So it might be a really good idea to have a conversation with Julia's spotlight teacher, and then you can explain like, here's what's going on. Here's what, like, how can we I don't know if you guys can see this, but I just got my little summit message that says Wyatt has an English project and a language project due within a week. Ask Wyatt, do you have questions on your project? Then stop to end messages. So you just saw all my text messages. Hopefully none of them are inappropriate. What else we got? Anything else? Is everyone gone? 14 are here now. What if everyone left and I was just talking to myself for like the next hour? That would be so embarrassing. Thanks, Jessica. Any third? There will be more orientations if you that's true, Amel. And it might be some of my best work, and it will be recorded. So thank goodness. I don't know what this is. Okay. Bye, Jessica. Thank you so much. Actually started at 9 today. I know, Melissa. She texted me, and I was like, nope, Wednesday. You're welcome. Thanks, Carolyn. Kayla, you still there?